Hi guys, it's 1,000 degrees right now. I'm hot. Hi guys, Mike here. Just wanted to, we're going to do episode 2 of On the Cheap here today. I'm going to build a transmission mount for, for a regular jack, for a regular hydraulic jack. Everybody's got a hydraulic jack, but they don't have one that fit their transmission. So this mount will actually go onto the jack and keep the jack from moving around. Like anything, there's always disclaimers. I'm just trying to help you guys out if I can, any ideas I get. But please, always take precautions. Think about your safety first. I am. So, you know, use my ideas with care. Okay, because they're not 100% thought out. Okay, but anyways, because the transmission's pretty damn heavy, and that falling on you're not going to have a good day. It's 2 inches tall by 12 by 8 foot in length. So the most important part is the width here. So it's 12 inches in width. So here it is. Cutting off this part right here because of the big crack going down the middle. I don't know how they could sell wood like this. Was the best piece of wood that I could find. You can believe that. So I got to cut off this part. I'll use it for something, not for load bearing. But so we're going to cut here. Alright guys, just so you know, when you cut, don't, when you guys cut, don't, make sure you follow through with your cut. Make sure it's straight. Mine wasn't very straight, but make sure when you follow through with your cut, if you're using electric, which you most likely are, make sure you follow through with your cut and make sure your cord doesn't get anywhere near, and then wait for it to stop. So make sure the blade stops before you put it on the ground. Okay, so what I figure, it's just good to have one of these, but any ruler will work. Basically what I want to, actually this is a pretty good hunk of wood right here. You don't want to cut into knots. Let me show you. Knots in the wood. And I know most of you guys that are my subscribers probably know most of this stuff already, but this is for people that don't know. You don't want to cut into knots because it's not very good and it's really hard on your saw. So if you can avoid cutting into it, it's the best. It's best. And I think it'll actually. I believe it'll also. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen this happen, but I believe it'll destroy. It'll actually chunks of the actual knot will come out instead of just cutting. It'll spew out chunks. So and could make a projectile. So you don't want to do that. So basically, never cut right on a knot. Okay, let's get back to work. Okay, so it's actually a pretty good size. Let's see what length this is. Just from here to here is pretty good. I think I'll use this. It's roughly about 2 feet. I'm gonna go just shy. I'm gonna go just shy of that, so I don't hit that knot. And make sure everything's lined up here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I've measured it again. Not really, just a rough estimate, not a measurement. Basically, I got to cut it right about here, just so I know, because I don't want it to cover the entire. I don't want to hit the bell housing. I've got to use jack stands for that. So this is just this actually is just going to go underneath the pan, give me a little more surface area. So basically, I guess, like I said, this is just kind of in the works here. Okay, guys, you see where that line's at? We're going to cut that. Couldn't find my glasses, my safety glasses, but always wear safety glasses. So I'll get them for future project here. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Son of a gun. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we got a piece now, and let's see how it looks here. So there we go. It's about that size. When I measured this, I kind of, I thought the width would be a long 12 inches, but it's not enough for my actual pan on my Ford. So the problem is now is I had some ideas of what I was going to do to keep keep the transmission from rolling from, this way and this way. I was going to put some bolts here, 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 and here. But now it's not wide enough, so not 100% sure what I'm going to do now. So let me think about this for a second. Okay, guys, I had to go take a look at my jack, my hydraulic jack, and I noticed that this part actually comes off on my jack stand. It's one of those 3-ton, but this part actually, as you can see, this part sits on this little, and it sits on the bar on the actual jack, on the hydraulic jack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to abandon the bolts idea I had. I thought about using bolts here. I was going to use, I was going to use bolts here and here, and use those and put on one on each side and use those to keep it from rocking back and forth. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the sheer weight of the transmission. Put you back in a good spot here, guys. Hold on. I'm going to use the sheer weight of the transmission to keep it from going back and forth, and I'm going to make a little socket. I'm outlining this right now. I'm going to outline this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chisel out this area. Okay, that's just to show you what I'm going to do, guys. Let me just, I don't want to have you go through watch me hammering away here. But basically, that's how I'm starting it out, just on the inside. And, wait a minute, get you back out here. Okay, so there we go. So basically, it's going to be going to chisel this out. Probably see the width of this is it's pretty, well, it's 2 inches roughly. So maybe 1 inch down, just to give this socket enough to give it enough of a thing to go down into it inside the wood, and you know, give it a good mounting point. So okay, okay, I'll get back to you as soon as it's done. Okay guys, we're here back, all done here. I got about a 1/2 inch, and it about a 1/2 inch in depth, and works pretty good. I think it's going to be hold it steady. It'll actually smash down as soon as the weight's on it more, and I can actually jam it in there a little bit more. So it's good to better for it to be tight than to be loose at this point, I think. But the weight will actually help push it down even further into the 1/2 inch depth of the cut. So let me show you formation. So anyways, there you go. Just a matter of let's see what it looks like. And of course, after you get this in, you strap it down. You strap the board also to the once you're about to, you strap the transmission to the board. So you got to have straps also with this. So, but those you get anywhere, Lowe's or whatever. Just some nylon straps, strong ones too. So there you go, and that should keep it from going this way, back and forth. Keep it from, just keep it in the ball socket here. So, okay, let's see how this looks on the. Okay, so there we go, guys. I don't know. There's our on the cheap transmission mount. So basically, you gotta the length of it's going to be up to whatever your transmission is. But there we go. And then you would strap the transmission. And since this swivels, you can really put it on any angle. The sheer weight of it is going to hold the weight of the transmission, and if you give it a little head start with a hammer, is going to drive this down, and so it should keep it locked in there. But well, when I test it, we'll see. Okay, but that's the idea. So there you go. Okay. All right, so there we go, guys. It's there's my on the cheap transmission mount. It'll hold it mainly. 2 things it's supposed to do here. Its first thing is to keep it from, give it a greater surface area for the so the jack stand doesn't dent up the pan, and give it a wider surface area to balance on. You have to strap it to the. You have to strap it. You're gonna have to strap it to the transmission, but you know, that'll be the sure weight's gonna hold this all down and keep the actual jack mount locked into this piece of wood here. So the weight of it, it'll keep it secure. So there you go. And you can actually hammer it beforehand just to give it that extra, so it's really in there. But I'm about a 1/2 inch. It's about a 1/2 inch deep. So, and there you go. Cost me for the board itself was $10. Time was about 2 hours in the sun, so I felt like 5. But